The STEM Society.
What's going on, socialites? It's your boy Cole Jackson, back with some underrated albums, man. I wanted to dive into some underrated hip hop albums that came out this year. Now, I brought about 4 to the table. It's more than that, but I'm not able to listen to what's current right now and be able to talk on my other show and then actually try to go back. But these were some albums that stuck out to me that I wanted to bring to the table, man, and let you guys know you might have missed out on these because of whatever may happen, like the Drake or Kendrick beef or whatever happened in hip hop. You know, we got so much things going on. So let me just go over some of these albums, and I'm just gonna recommend them and tell you might have overlooked these, and these are some great albums. Starting off with my UK people, bro. God, man, I remember listening to this album and I loved it, and I think I talked about it on a previous episode. But there's a UK rapper by the name of Saint, and he dropped an album called Still Local. It came out March the 29th of this year. 14 tracks, 32 minutes. Let me just tell you right now, if you're into a cool, relaxed sound, like, you will definitely enjoy Saint. I've consistently said he reminds me of Larry June. I love his rhymes. I love his rap style. I just like the way he rhymes. The vibes are great. The album is not a very long listen. Again, 14 tracks, 32 minutes. That's not a long listen. It's just very relaxed. And I like that, man, because a lot of UK artists I've listened to here recently in the scene are very just like high energy. It's only him and maybe a couple more that I've listened to that's just been cool. But it feels like he's just very influenced by West Coast style, from the production to the way his rhyme scheme is, just how smooth and relaxed he sounds when he's rapping. But I freaking love this album. I think it's one of the best that came out this year, especially if you like that kind of vibe. So I'm telling you right now, go out and find Saint, Still Local. You'll love it, I promise you. Speaking of the West Coast, Jason Martin and DJ Quick came out with an album called Chupacabra. It has 17 tracks. It's 46 minutes long. If you're looking for a very super West Coast album, this is what I'm talking about. Jason Martin got the bright idea to pull DJ Quick out and just kind of let him go. Quick produced most of this album, and you can tell by the production, crisp, clean, very West Coast, heavily influenced with samples. I love the samples on here as well. But Quick is like one of them legends. He's been in the game for 30 plus years, bro. And for him to be able to put out a project like this, or help put out a project like this, if I'm not mistaken, he executive produced the whole thing. But he brought his A game, and Jason Martin was just set to make sure that West was represented correctly, because you can tell by like who was on here. I'm just gonna give a list of a few people that's on this album: The Game, Sugar Free, Jay Worthy, Larry June, Khalifa, Wiz Khalifa, Currency, Bun B. They even got George Clinton on the album. Like, the sound of the album is like really, it's got a 90s feel to it, but it just don't sound dated. Like, it just doesn't sound like it's outdated at all. And I think that's a credit to DJ Quick and Thundercat, who actually did some production on here as well. I just feel like this album got overlooked because of the pop out. This came out right around the time the pop out dropped, and that was the thing that kind of, I'm not gonna say crushed it, but I just feel like they didn't get a chance to push it as much as they possibly could, because the Kendrick shit was going so heavy and people was going so hard for that. And I think a lot of people missed out on experiencing a great West Coast album. And, you know, when people think about the West Coast, the first thing they think about is Schoolboy, Kendrick, Ab-Soul. Like, this album is true to heart representation of what the West is talking about, West coming back up. It's definitely solid from start to finish. If you haven't checked out the album yet, go check out Jason Martin and DJ Quick's album Chupacabra. I promise you, you're gonna get a very 90s feeling type of album, but it just don't sound dated at all. So next up, oh man, I did a top albums, the best album so far in 2024, best hip hop albums of 2024. Somebody got on my DMs and asked me about Gunna's album, and I was like, damn, Gunna did drop an album. So of course I went back to listen to it. Shout out to, not gonna put your name out there, but shout out to you who hit me up about that. And shit, bruh, I completely missed. Gunna needs more credit. So Gunna dropped an album called 101 this year. It came out May the 10th. 20 tracks, 57 minutes long. Underrated. So underrated, bruh. So underrated. Like, I feel like Gunna came with one of them ones, and I think it just got crushed by everything else that was happening in hip hop. Now, it is not by any means a gift and a curse, but it is damn near close. He put together one of his better albums, and I think he did. Yeah, he went back to back. In my personal opinion, it rides, bro. He went back to back. It rides for real. The production is solid on here. Gunna is definitely in his element when he starts rapping about money and clothes and cars and stuff like that. Like, he's like the new age luxury rapper now. The way the songs flow into each other, the way the sequence of the songs are, fucking top notch and great. Like, I really enjoyed the fact that he put some time and care into making sure like that album flowed well, because a lot of rappers don't do that. A lot of artists don't give a fuck about how the album flow. They just put it out there and be like, fuck it. He did not do that, and I think it really shows in how the album is put together and the production and everything. I love this album. I forgot how good it was. Like, the only problem I had, and honestly I'm still having this problem with this album, but that's just a me thing, I guess. I like shorter albums. It's just too many songs. Some of those songs, and I said this in my critique of the album, some of them songs do feel like filler. As good as they are, they feel like filler because they're so short, and you just kind of bridge in between each song to go to another song that's actually pretty good. But it just feels like he put too many tracks on that album. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't really. He could have made it 16 songs and we'd have went straight. If he would have made it 15, 16 songs, we would have been good. Maybe even, I don't know, 13 songs. But we're in an age where, put out music and then you do a deluxe and so on and so forth. And maybe he didn't want to do a deluxe, but I completely enjoyed this album. It rides, it flows so well. I don't think anybody did an album as like Gunna did this year. Like, he did a phenomenal album, and we just kind of forgot about it. So if you get an opportunity, man, go and check out Gunna 101. Go back and listen to it, man. I'm telling you, he dropped some heat, and we just kind of, I don't know if we forgot about it because we got so caught up in the beef, but go give it another chance. All right, finally. And I had to pull this out because this is some of my underground hip-hop grungy rap shit, but I really feel like it's a solid project. Boldy James and Conductor Williams dropped an album called Across the Tracks. It has 10 tracks, 26 minutes. It came out June the 28th. I am a huge Boldy James fan, and I am most definitely a huge Conductor Williams fan, and I did not know that I needed both of these niggas to come together and make a great album. The album is so good because it feels like Conductor Williams, and this might sound crazy to you, and I say crazy shit all the time, but it feels like Conductor structured the beats around Boldy James' rap style and his voice because they fit so well with each other. Like, I love the fact that Boldy and Conductor actually did an album together, and I wish they would do a couple more. Kind of like when Boldy gets with Alchemist, or you know what I'm saying? Like, every now and again with Nicholas Craven, but when he gets with Alchemist, it's solidified, certified, great. And now listening to him and Conductor do some shit together, even better. I just like the fact that Boldy's so underrated as a lyricist and a rapper, bruh, in some people's eyes. Like, people don't really bring him up in conversations. I don't know why. Has one of the best rap voices in the game as well. I love the fact that he has this like crazy, like grovelly voice, but I love it. But Conductor been on a roll this year as far as like a producer, been making some really fire ass tracks, and I just didn't know I needed this together. I love the gritty underground sound that this album has. And it genuinely feels like Conductor just knew the assignment and crafted these beats specifically for this album. It's definitely underrated, Jim. I know a lot of people probably don't get into this kind of bag. I do, because I'm always listening to niggas like RJ Payne or 38 Special or Ransom or just people in that genre of hip hop. I love listening to Black Soprano Family, but Boldy, bro, to me is like top tier, one of those lyricists that I could not miss if he dropped something. And this to me is one of the better projects he's put out. And being honest, I think that we should start looking at this genre of hip hop, especially when it comes to like the underground or the more underground or more independent side of rap, because this shit is it's nice. It's nice. I don't know where Conductor gets these samples from, but I think they're amazing. I think he just dropped a song with Win not too long ago where I think that shit fits her perfectly. I think that was he knocked it out of the park with that. But having Conductor and having Boldy James do an album together blew my mind. I went out of here. I'm like, this is amazing. This is great. And I feel like it's completely underrated because, again, people keep talking about wanting to hear real hip hop or real lyrics or all this other stuff. And Boldy is in that mold. He is that nigga that puts out rap. He raps. He really fucking raps. So if you have not given Across the Tracks a chance, I'm advising you to go check it out. Very underrated album. Very great rapping on there. It's an easy, smooth listen. It's not even 30 minutes long. It's most definitely worth your time. So that's all I got. Only got 4 albums. I was trying to make it 5, but couldn't really think about a 5th one for real. Like, I didn't want to dig too deep. But tell me what you think in the comments. Let me know how you feel. What's your underrated album of 2024? What's your underrated hip-hop album of 24? I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Let me know, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.